I'll be honest, I did not expect to be back quite so soon here with Wanderers for your Monday viewing pleasure, but it's the 14th of January in game, and two big games have emerged out of nowhere. The first of those, the opening game, top versus second. Newcastle United, with only 2 defeats to their name, sit second in the league. We beat them 7-1 in the home game. We have to inflict their first home defeat of the season if we are to beat them. And then after that, it's full focus on the FA Cup. The last couple of years, we've had easier draws as we've gone through this competition until the latter stages. This time around, Arsenal in the 4th round. A rerun of the final of 3 years ago. On that occasion, they beat us. If I want to repeat history and win 3 FA Cups in a row with Wanderers, we have to go through them today. The transfer window is open, as whilst there is some money, I'm not sure if we're going to spend it, but you know what? Things could change today. Let's run the intro and get straight into things. Yes, folks, how is it going? And a warm welcome back. It's episode number 83 of Wanderers FC. I'm wearing a very trippy shirt, kind of Liverpool kit today that I don't normally wear. It's to hypnotise you into hitting the like button. So hit the like button. Did it work? I hope so. Anyway, since last episode, which of course was a triple header, only 4 games played, some good results on the whole, but one not so good one, a defeat against Brighton. A game where I have to say we absolutely dominated for large spells in this game, but 2 shots on target, 2 goals, João Pedro with a very nice finish for the first, to be fair, and they doubled their lead before half-time. Brighton, I feel like, have caused us a couple of issues over the years, and well, history repeated itself here. Nice little finish, great ball in behind again. João Pedro pulling all the strings, and despite Mick Hugh coming into the team and, well, putting in a half-decent showing, it has to be said, it wasn't enough. His finish here was delightful. But in the remaining 25 minutes, we couldn't create another. After that, we did get a really good result in the FA Cup, rotated our team against Sunderland, 7-2 win. To be fair, it was only 2-1 at half-time, but in the second half, we took our performance up a notch. And from there, we've strung together a couple of wins in rather important games. 2-0 against Fulham was great. Jonathan Banks with both goals. Jonathan Banks, by the way, now a natural centre attacking mid. And he's actually improved since he came to the club, which is absolutely unbelievable that a guy with this kind of ability is continuing to get better. He is really one of football's global superstars. And then over in the EFL Cup, which I'm going to be honest, hasn't exactly been a focus for me over the years, we got a win in the semi-finals. Yes, I think we've made it to the final of this competition on one occasion. It's not top of the priority. And as you can see here, we got a nice little away win against Newcastle, a game where Andy White was sent off for a moment of madness. If I'm not mistaken, across 10 years, I think this is his only red card. He doesn't get that many. It came from this highlight here. I thought we were about to go on the attack. Naturally, why wouldn't you think you're about to score in this kind of situation? But as we built the ball up, well, you're going to see what happened. Andy White just lost his head. A frustrating performance from him out on the left-hand side. And he basically just decided to murder a man. I'm not sure why we're being shown such a detailed highlight. I'm running out of things to fill this segment with. Either way, eventually the ball did come over onto the left-hand side of the pitch. And Andy, it looked, there was a glint in his eye. He saw red. Yeah, the physio was immediately coming on as well. Not a good tackle. And sadly, we are without him for today's first game against Newcastle in the league. So not exactly ideal. But you know what? Down a man, we did go on to win this game. Corby Hatswell scored in the 58th minute, coming back from injury. I wasn't meant to play him for the whole game. He played the whole game. Like, he scored. I couldn't take him off after he scored. And with that result there, it does look very likely we could be meeting Tottenham in the Carabao Cup final. Admittedly, there is still a second leg to be played. It's not played until next month. So as you all caught up on the action that's been going on at the club, it's worth noting that between today's games away against Newcastle and at home against Arsenal, we do have Manchester United to play in the Champions League as well as Rennes. But given our current standing in the Champions League, we're not going to worry about that one. I may even rotate the team a little for it. Anyway, our opposition today, Newcastle, under Unai Emery, have been on a really great season. Obviously, we beat them very recently in the EFL Cup, but prior to that, they'd only lost 1 game in the previous kind of 3 or 4 months. That last kind of defeat actually was the 7-1 result against us. Clearly, something happened in that game that saw them change things up. They've been great since. Now, as already mentioned, we are without Andy White for today's game, so it's going to be Shawnee Steele lining up in the attacking area. But to be honest, the 21-year-old has shown some absolutely unreal development. He doesn't have the aerial presence of Andy White, and you know what? He needs to improve a little bit to be considered of the same ilk. But for a 21-year-old who we signed for £35 million, I feel like he's starting to look like at least a £35 million player. He looks really, really solid. Definitely a drop down from Andy, but still a very good performer. Now, of course, Andy is one of 2 left attacking midfielders we have in our ranks. As a result of his suspension, Chris Barrett is going to start for us there. It is worth noting that Marcus Sheldon, whose name I feel like I've not really talked about much this year, has now almost learnt to play left attacking mid. He's slowly but surely getting there. When we've called upon him this year, he has just been a little bit quieter. It's a bit of a sad state of affairs, isn't it? Marcus Sheldon, here with us since the championship, but when you look at the squad comparison in the top right of his player profile, you can see he's considered our 7th best striker. Yeah, it makes me sad too. Now, I mentioned that Colby Hatswell was only meant to play 60 minutes against Newcastle. I've been told he should only play 60 minutes in this game here. I am going to be a little wary of that. But besides that, this is a team very much at full strength. Tammy Ajaria has been absolutely sensational at right back for us this year. 16 assists in 32 games. By comparison, left backs a lot less productive. You can see here, Benito Lloyd-Weston, 0 assists for the year. That's a little bit of a concern. And it is not much better for Gavin Wallace either. I'm beginning to think that I might need to abandon the inverted wing-back experiment and maybe just go with another fullback on attack. Fullbacks on attack, especially if you're playing the wider, deeper kind of defender role, really, really good. And especially if you are playing a system like we are, where the attacking width is set to be really, really narrow, it's always worth just having them set to stay wider and then cross from the byline, as well as cut inside. That might seem like a weird combination, but essentially it means that on occasion, if there's space inside, he will go narrow in kind of line with the team instructions. But generally speaking, by getting to the byline, he gets into lots of positions to pull crosses back, which in the current match engine is very good. Anyway, that is the team for today's game. Let's get into this one against Newcastle and see what we can do. They are a very, very good team. Away from home, this is not going to be easy. I'm certainly not expecting another 7-1. I mean, we played them a matter of days ago in the Carabao Cup. On that occasion, they played a full-strength team. We're still playing a full-strength team here, and you might have noticed they've got Pearson in their ranks. This guy, I could have had him for 36 million if Newcastle hadn't made a bid. Instead, he's gone on to play for them, got 2 goals on his debut for England. Yeah, I'm annoyed as well. Now, I have noticed they're playing with this 2-man midfield, so we're going to go with a change that I do like to make on the regular. We are, instead of focusing the play in the wider areas, going to look to play the ball through the middle. Okay, we are in our iconic away pink kits, and hopefully, well, it's going to be pretty in pink today. Dorrington with the ball, plays it to Colby Hatswell. Flood, as the regista, moving across, allowing Lloyd-Weston to sneak in. Steals, threaded in behind. I mean, what a goal that is. Is it onside? The linesman's flag's not raised. I have a sneaking suspicion he's off. If he's on, it's one of the goals of the season. It was a beautiful passing move. And I'll tell you what, the goal is going to count. This was beautiful. The inverted wingback doing what I've brought it into the team to do. Banks playing it through to Steele. And maybe we're not going to miss Andy White today, because with an opening like that, I'm feeling good. I don't know if I'm expecting 7, but I mean, it'd be nice, wouldn't it? It wasn't even close to being offside. Okay, immediately there is a kickoff highlight here. I was a little worried that with us only doing 2 matches live, you know, maybe there wouldn't be entertainment. It feels like there is going to be entertainment. It's like Robbie Williams has come out and shouted, "Let me entertain you," and the players have really taken it to heart. Caleb Hampton's picked that up. That was a very weird highlight. Can't imagine that was the end of the action for this one, though. Maybe we can create something going forward here as well. Caleb launches it long. We don't get to the second ball or the third ball, and now it's, well, them bringing it through the middle. Fernandez inside. Tonali dispossessed. Lovely tackle. Brennan can't win the ball in the air. We get it ahead and away yet again. Takiko for them keeps it alive, though. Ferreira steps up from centre-back. Pearson dropping in. Pulling our defence out of shape. Fernandez is in behind. He cuts inside. And to be honest, he probably should have done better there. Corner. Andrade. I don't like corners. Unless they're in our favour, in which case they're bloody brilliant. Banks is going to look to bring this one away, although Pearson, of course it's him, has won the ball back. And now it's Newcastle bringing it forward yet again. Livramento to Tonali. A few of the old guard of Newcastle in this universe linking up. Tonali drifting wide. Brennan has tackled him there. That can't be in the box. If that's in the box, I'm bad at Football Manager. That's definitely outside the box. I'm so confident I'm going to praise the players for the fact we're a goal to the good here. Tonali's gesturing at the referee. Is it going to be given? Absolutely not. I was never in doubt. Great tackle by Brennan. Tactical foul at the edge. I mean, we've still got the free kick to deal with. Can we please end the highlight, Football Manager? Or counter? or just end it. That's fine too. Tahuna dings the ball forward towards Fernandez, who out on the right-hand side is having a lot of space against Benito Lloyd-Weston. He pulls it back, and Tonali should have been doing better there. I think I'm going to make an early change here. I'm going to move Benito Lloyd-Weston and play him. Well, you know how I'm going to play him. Cross from byline, cut inside, stay wider. Love these instructions on fullbacks on attack, especially if you're playing a narrower shape. I feel like they just work very, very well. I mean, the main issue we had there was the inverted wingback was just getting caught a bit narrow. When we lose the ball, Benito Lloyd-Weston is up in the midfield, and Fernandez was just kind of sat on the shoulder constantly for the few highlights we've seen. Hopefully that change is going to help us defensively without removing some of our attacking potency, as Andrade skips past Dorrington, who fails to put in a tackle, and Caleb Anson, I defend Anson a lot, he has to do better there. That's not a good goal. Caleb Anson, I've recently offered a new contract to. I want him to be here to the end of time. I mean, Dorrington should have done better, maybe on 2 occasions. I actually think maybe the shot deflected off Dorrington. Maybe it's harsh to blame Anson there. I don't know. It definitely deflected the shot. It got deflected into the middle of the goal. I still feel like Caleb could have done a bit better. Pearson has been injured. Ding dong, the witch is dead or something. We've got him off the pitch. They've moved Livramento to inside forward. So, well, that's good. We've dealt with one of the issues we had. Hopefully it's not too serious. Of course, for England's stakes and sakes at international level. I mean, 1-1 here in the league would be okay. If we lose here, Newcastle actually kind of close the point gap on us to 2 points. I feel like I didn't mention that earlier. Probably should have mentioned it by now. Yeah, a defeat here would be disastrous. 4 minutes of added time as well. Oh, maybe it was a serious injury. Maybe, just maybe. If we look at the latest scores and table, you can see with a draw here, the gap remains at 4 points. In fact, if they win here, yeah, they're really going to be breathing down our neck. We need a good result here in this second half. I mean, Newcastle are undefeated at home. They've not lost. That's what undefeated means, Jack. So to beat them here, it would be a really, really good result if we could make it happen. Speaking of which, Chris Barrett over a shot at the edge of the box. He has been such a great player for us, Barrett. Could he score here? I'll tell you what, I'm looking at Steele thinking, why are they not marking him? Steele's making a gesture like he wants a pass. I don't think Barrett's seen him. Barrett shoots. Maybe he should have passed. I'm actually going to make some early changes in this game. Ajaria is on a booking. I don't want to risk us sending off. So Brian Henderson is going to come on and play at right fullback. I feel like he can do this role to a reasonable level. Not maybe the best player going forward. And on the left-hand side, I'm going to bring in Gavin Wallace. This man is made to play as a fullback on attack. Such a great little player, the left back. We'll see what he can do in the wide areas. So the changes haven't yet happened, and yet we're knocking the ball around here rather confidently. It'd be the most on-brand thing ever, having subbed off Ajaria. He goes on to score a wonder goal or get an assist now. Okay, never mind. If it had happened, it would have been on-brand. It's not happened, and it's a shame. Oh, and if you were wondering why am I not taking off Bernard, Brennan, or Barrett, I'm thinking about taking them off. I mean, to be fair, I'm not meant to play Hatswell for more than 60 minutes. I was about to make a change. Maybe I'm going to regret not making it sooner because Rosales has had it played into him. They square it. Andrade scores and Newcastle take the lead. Now I need to make some attacking changes. To be completely honest, Newcastle have been the better team in this game. We've not really shown up. Rosales drifting into a wide area. Always disappointing to concede a set piece. It's these cut back kind of low crosses from the byline. Very good in the match engine. We've had one scored against us there. All right, Hatswell needs to not play the whole game. McHugh, on you come. Elsewhere, Akenna on for Brennan? I think so. And Marcus Sheldon on for Barrett on the left-hand side. They're the changes I'm going with. That is all my subs done as well at a rather early stage. Going to shout demand more at the players too. We've got half an hour to try and turn this game around. I think at this point, I'm going to move our centre mids forward as well. Given the fact that they're playing with 2 defensive mids and no centre attacking mid, I feel like this is maybe an area where we can commit a little higher up the pitch, especially since we are chasing things now. I'm going to get rid of look to pass into space and also have look for the overlap on the left-hand side. That might just see Flood hold on to the ball a little bit more to allow Gavin Wallace to get into this game. We've got 20 minutes to try and turn things around. I need to see an improvement here. You look at the match momentum. Second half, we've been better, but we've definitely been second best throughout. We are running out of time in this game, folks, and I'm also running out of players to play forward. I guess Banks at this point can go and play as an attacking advance forward. We're going to mirror the shape that they're playing. The inside forwards on the left and right can move on to attack as well. I'm going to get rid of the focus to play through the middle now that we don't have a centre attack in mid. Still looking for the overlaps, but we're still going to look to play narrow, I think, here. I am going to get more direct. And in transition, we're going to look to get it quickly to the flanks now. I want to get it to those inside forwards if we can. Okay, 4 minutes left of this game. Set piece opportunity. This could be a gift. Sheldon, I've talked about the fact he's dropped out the team lately. I'll tell you what, Wallace has scored a few free kick goals this year where we play it short to him. Is Sheldon going to look for such an opportunity, or is he going to go himself? The number 10 is stood over it. I've really hyped this up. He shoots. It hits the crossbar, and that was an opportunity wasted in the end. There's 6 minutes of added time here. We've really gone for things, but sadly, we are not going to find a breakthrough. Newcastle get some revenge for our recent win against them in the EFL Cup's first leg, and also, of course, the 7-1 drubbing that we got at home. And I mentioned that with a win for Newcastle there, the title race could heat up. I said it would be 2 points between us. I told a lie. There's now 1 point separating us. I mean, what do you say about that? Really, really disappointing game. Kind of reminded me a little bit of the defeat we had against Brighton, where we just didn't really show up. Having scored early, my hopes were high. Let down in the end. Now, as I already mentioned, we have got Manchester United in 4 days' time, but I'm not going to subject you to watching Manchester United for 2 episodes in a row. Instead, we're coming back for what feels like a cup final of sorts. It might only be the FA Cup 4th round. This is maybe the competition I want to win the most this year, just to repeat history and do the three-peats. Back in the 1870s, Wanderers won 5 FA Cups, including 3 in a row. They did actually win 2 in a row as well. I want to repeat history. I want to do it 3 years in a row, over 150 years later. This next game's a test. Arsenal, who beat us in a final 3 years ago, let's see if we can get one over on them. So of all the players that could have been injured for the next month, this man definitely would have been at the bottom of the list. Jonathan Banks, injured for up to 3 weeks. He is unavailable for this game against Arsenal. That is a massive miss. I don't have a centre attacking mid as good as him. I don't really have enough centre attacking mids to continue with the 4-2-3-1, which is why, against Manchester United, I thought we'd go back to the 5 at the back system. The 3 centre-backs, ditch the centre attacking mid, go with 3 strikers, and we lost via a Bradley Barcola 95th minute winner. To make things worse in this game, Benito Lloyd-Weston got injured against his former club, and then, well, this 95th minute goal went in. Disastrous. I think doesn't quite cover it. What makes it worse, and it's not shown here, we had a goal ruled out in the 89th minute. Shall we have a look at that disallowed goal? Mick Hugh to Ajaria. Brennan. Lovely finish, but he was offside. It does mean that going into our final Champions League game, we're now not guaranteed a top 8 finish, but we are taking on Rennes. They're 23rd. I'm going to just work on the assumption we're going to beat them. I could be really sad to open next episode if we haven't done that. Now, like I already mentioned, Banks is out for the foreseeable future. Benito Lloyd-Weston also got injured against Manchester United, out for 2 weeks. As a result of the lack of a centre attacking mid, we are going to go back to what we know. Our old system is going to come in. Branthwaite plays our left centre-back. Wallace is going to come in and play as our left-back. Not the biggest downgrade there, it has to be said. I'm a little bit concerned that we've got a few players really off the pace, and without throwing a man under the bus, but I'm definitely throwing him under the bus, Chris Barrett's been really poor lately. He's had the odd good performance here and there. He loves important matches, though. He's playing against his former club here. I've had a chat with him and just given him a cuddle and told him to play better. I'm going to hope he can step up big in this one. I realise that this starting 11 here, with the exception of Branthwaite, is very resemblant to the team that we ran for a lot of last season. This is a team that won the Premier League, and I want to believe is capable of beating an Arsenal team in the FA Cup. They have not rotated their team one little bit. That's a very strong team. If I was going to be critical, maybe their defence is a bit old. Ignacio's 33. They've got Hincapi here. Definitely said his name wrong. The Ecuadorian. Also very good. I noticed they also have William Saliba still in their ranks. 3 members of their back 4 are 33. They really need to start rebuilding for the future, Arsenal, or they're going to be in trouble. They've also got a 33-year-old Saka. It's like they've built their team around just a single generation, and that generation is now kind of falling off the pace. But you know what? Having looked at their team there, it's still a very good team. This is as big as a cup final as far as I'm concerned. The reality is with this save game, I'm never going to get another opportunity to win 3 FA Cups in a row if we fail to win it this year. I don't intend on doing another 3 seasons after this one, and so I'm desperate to see us put in a good account of ourselves and, well, the kind of performance of a triple champion of an FA Cup trophy in this game here. An early goal would settle the nerves, although as we learnt last game, an early goal doesn't mean diddly squat if you can't hold on to it. Ajaria, into the wide area, has been having a tremendous season. He fizzes his cross in low. It's dealt with initially. Atwell, though, gets it to Flood. Back to Ajaria, cutting inside. Back to Brantthwaite. We've got so many players forward here. We really have Arsenal pinned back. Wallace, Flood, Barrett. The build-up play is beautiful here. If there's an end product, it could be a goal of the season contender. That is a sensational goal. Bernard Brennan, the big meaty man at the far post, always going to win stuff in the air. Barrett put it on a plate for him. And everything about that goal was beautiful. The former Arsenal man whipping the ball in, and Brennan, who we nearly sold in the summer. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm very glad we've not lost him. He's been massive for us this season. There is part of me wondering, if I do another good performance here with a 3 at the back system, do I go back to this system? No, I can't. I need to stick with a 4-2-3-1. But at least I know I've got this ace up my sleeve. The fact we've got 2 tactics that we can really interchange with our current crop of players is a great spot to be in. Of course, maybe I'm speaking a little bit too soon here. This tactic, whilst it proved itself last year, it's not proven itself consistently this year yet. And Arsenal, well, we're on the attack here. James to Saka. James continues his run forward, but instead, Saka gives it back to Cabana. The 33-year-old on the wing tries to skip past Wallace unsuccessfully. We've won it back. Now can we bring it forward? Barrett, Andy White. Lovely build-up play here. Really nice passing. Andy White, though, not sure what that dribbling was there. They've gifted the ball, though, to Brennan. He's got 1 goal. I don't know why he tried to chip it from there. I kind of love that he tried that finish. Sadly, it was off target. I mean, half an hour into this game, just 1 shot on target, but to be fair, it was a shot in our favour. Match momentum-wise, Arsenal maybe got a little bit of the play after we scored, but to be honest, this has not been the most open of first halves. There's been a distinct lack of chances. There's 3 minutes shown on the board by the 4th official on the sideline. And in those remaining 3 minutes, could we see some late drama? That is awful by Saliba. He's given it to Andy White. And are we going to live to regret some of these misses? Maybe. That one blazes over. At the break, we're a goal to the good. I'm going to tell the players I'm happy. We've played well in this game. Still feel like there's another gear that we can hit, though. I'm not going to make any changes at the break. Arsenal, they have an XG of 0.09. Of course, as soon as I say that, they have their first shot on target in this game here. And now they've got a corner. What I was going to say is they've not really shown much threat. And the good news is for us, Anson with his 20 aerial reach has plucked that ball out the air really, really nicely. I suppose now the big fat question mark is, can we get the ball forward and make something happen? Anson gives it to Phillips. Phillips now going to bring it out from the back. Brennan to Ajaria. The right back has acres of space here. Plays it inside to Andy White. That was a lovely little ball. Wallace is on the other side. This is nice. This is pretty. Can the number 7 do something? He can't. He's bullied off the ball. Arsenal win it. And well, what I thought was going to be an attack in our favour might open up the other way as Arsenal bring it forward. Martinelli played in behind. He is looking to dance on the far side of the pitch. Players queuing up in the middle. And KB is one of the players at the edge. Yulu to Faraz, shoots. And is that another one where we look at Caleb Anson and go, could he have done better? It might be. I have seen loads of comments about the goalkeeping thing over the last few seasons. Is there a better goalkeeper than Caleb Anson? There genuinely isn't. It's mad that in this save game, there are no good English goalkeepers. I almost feel like showing you it now so that you can't think about it for the rest of the game. I think it says a lot that the England goalkeeper setup is Matthew Cox as the starting goalkeeper right now, James Trafford, and then Anthony Patterson. With respect to all these players, I think Anson is better than all of them. I'm kind of shocked Anson hasn't been called up for Italy or England or even Ghana. He's actually eligible for Ghana. No idea why they've not called up Caleb Anson. This man is a very good goalkeeper. I feel like goalkeepers in Football Manager just look bad. I think that's the reality of it. Of course, it is one of the downsides with the whole English-only thing. And if you're wondering, what about partially English, Jack? There's literally no partially English goalkeepers either. Anyway, you know what? He's only conceded 1 here. Let's not throw him under the bus prematurely. There's still time for us to win this game here. Flood! It's another long shot from us that I'm not really enjoying seeing. An hour played here, I am going to make some changes, I think, in personnel for this half. Carl Flood's been pretty poor in this one. Kobe Mainu, on you come. Elsewhere on the team, I feel like fresh legs are needed. Andy White has been disappointing through the middle. I'm going to play Sheldon at complete forward on the left-hand side. Barrett got an assist for our goal, so I'm kind of somewhat hesitant to take him off. Sadly, when it comes to attacking options, we're a little lacking just due to the combination of injuries that we've got at the moment. I know that Barrett scored. I feel like I need some fresh legs in this game here. I'm going to bring in Akena. Akena just looks like on paper he should be a top quality English striker. He's not exactly free-flowingly scored for us, but he's popped up with a few goals here and there. I feel like he could be a useful player to bring on now. Arsenal with the ball. 25 minutes left here. I mean, if we lose this game, what a disastrous episode it would be after the jubilation of the past couple. Massive wins against Liverpool, Tottenham, Real Madrid. It'd be disappointing if we can't get a win in either game here. But the ball, oh my word, it goes to Brennan. It always goes to Brennan's head, and it has its own gravitational pull. He's headed it in and made it 2-1. Also, Gavin Wallace's cross here. Can we discuss this cross by Gav? Can we discuss it? Kobe Mainoo back heel. Wallace, first time, whips it good. And it was on a plate for Brennan to head into the bottom corner. Right, I'm going to praise the players here. We've gone a goal to the good. I want to try and keep the confidence flowing for the last 15 minutes here. Arsenal have definitely stepped up their game in this second half. We scored somewhat against the run of play. There's 10 minutes left here. As they come on the offensive, maybe they leave gaps in behind for us to exploit. There's only 4 minutes left. This game, I was going to say it looks like it could fizzle out into nothing. We might have a free kick in a dangerous area. Another goal for us now would surely be the misery compiler. Kobe Mainoo, Marcus Sheldon linking up 2 subs on off the bench, creating a goal from nothing. I love this little routine. Sheldon short, Kobe Mainoo on his weaker foot just wraps it around the closing down player, and the keeper's offsighted. It goes in, and that, my friends, is surely going to be that. 3-1 perhaps flatters us, but you know what? In a game that felt cagey, we've made it look slightly more convincing than perhaps it was in the end. Bernard Brennan on form for Wanderers. Man of the match for him. 11 goals in 32 games so far this year. That doesn't even sound that impressive, but you know what? He's popped up with 2 massive ones there for us. I wonder how Tom FM feels about the fact that a regen from Lincoln is this good and not playing for Lincoln. I'm sure he's fine. Brennan's not been able to score too many goals in the league, but if he just wants to score in the FA Cup, that is fine with me. Now, in terms of when we're going to be back next time, we have got a second leg at home against Newcastle in the EFL Cup. We won the first leg 1-0. Given the fact we've just played Newcastle today and the EFL Cup trophy isn't necessarily the highest of high priorities this year, I think I'm going to pass on that one, especially because we've done games so soon from last episode on Friday. Instead, I'm going to come back probably in February, March time. That is going to depend, I suppose, on where we are in the EFL Cup and also the Champions League knockout stage draw, which we have tomorrow to look forward to. Anyway, folks, I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. Whilst the transfer window is open, there just isn't improvements out there to go out and sign. I'm not going to sign players for the sake of it. Not even a goalkeeper. Yeah, look, you can see goalkeepers that I could sign that are partially English. There just isn't any. I mean, Tommy Setford, not an improvement. I mean, Luis Enrique here has taken up English nationality, having played for Man City for a while, but even him, compared to Caleb Anson, just not as good aerially, not nearly as good shot-stopping-wise or communication-wise. And to be honest, aerial, shot-stopping, communication are the 3 things I really put stock in a goalkeeper. Anyway, if it didn't work earlier when I tried to hypnotise you with the jazzy shirt, go down below, leave a like, especially if you got to the end of the video. We are back tomorrow and more. Appreciate you guys watching as always. It's me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.